Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Today we're going to be making my stew. I do kind of like a couple packets of stew mix in my stew. I'm kind of using this because I don't have to buy broth. It's a lot cheaper, tastes good, but for the most part, my stew is going to be some beef chuck. It's about two and a half, a little bit over 2.5 pounds. We're going to do 4 big old potatoes. We're going to do five uh, cloves of garlic. We're going to do some pearl onions. I don't like onions, so I have to use pearl onions because my husband loves onion. We're going to do about 2 carrots, and I would say it's about 2.5 carrots, and we're going to do 3 celery stalks. Basically, I've got 2.5 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to go ahead and start chopping everything up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to start assembling. I was going to let you know too, I have some 3 tablespoons of flour, which after we cube the meat, we'll roll it in and fry it. I also have 1 teaspoon of my go-to lemon pepper. I have a half cup of sherry, optional. If you don't like the sherry in it, you don't have to use it. But I'm going to go ahead and start cubing, and then we'll be back, and then we'll get cooking. Welcome back. Okay, I cut all our meat up. That was 2.5, almost a little bit over 2.5 pounds. I cubed it real nice, about 1 inch cubes. What I'm going to do is put it in my good plastic bag. And what I'm going to do is shake up with the flour. I've got my pan on medium right now. It's heating up. I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Oh, no, canola oil. So we're going to get ready. So I make stew a couple different ways. Sometimes I totally make it from scratch, especially when I have my fresh veggies from my garden, my carrots, my celery, my onions. I do it all from scratch. Sometimes I use a packet though. Sometimes we like to have different kinds of flavor. With these flavor packs, you do not need any broth or bouillon. You go ahead and you just use that and you'll be fine. If you want to add some at the end, go ahead. When I cook, I have a certain amount that I have an idea that I want to put in to all my recipes. But when I'm cooking, if I want a little bit more broth, it just depends on how I want to do it. But today, I'm showing the people who don't know how to make their own stew. You're using your veggies. They're all fresh. And you're using your potato that's fresh. The only thing you're doing is using a season pack so that you do not have to worry about how much cornstarch that you put in to make your stew thick enough. You don't have to worry about the extra garlic and so forth. Now, I'm bad. I will use garlic even though I use the packet. And then I'm also going to use my lemon pepper because that's something that I put in when I make my own stew. Basically, you see how this looks? I've got all my meat in my bag, and I'm tossing it in its own flour. And I'll have all the directions on our box for you after we're done. I'll give you everything that I put in, because sometimes, I'll mean to say one thing, but I say something else. Like, how much, seasoning I put in. Now, my pan is getting nice and hot. I'm using my Dutch oven. You can use anything you want. You can also cook your stew in a slow cooker. But for me, that takes way too long, in my opinion. You can also put it in your oven, but I actually like to do mine on my stovetop. So I've got all my meat cut. Not quite hot enough yet. It's just going to need a minute more. And you don't want to overcrowd your pan, because if you overcrowd your pan, heck, it won't make your meat nice and brown. So don't overcrowd your pan. Oops, I had one piece there that was not even cut. I don't know, I got crazy on that piece. I must have totally missed that one. So we'll just put it to the side and cut. So like I said, I don't have my meat crowding my pot. I want all the brown bits on the bottom. I want the goodness to come off. So what I'm going to do is, as it gets done, I'm going to transfer it over. But right now I'm going to get my knife and cut my one piece of meat. Since I missed one piece, it's easy to do when you have 2.5 pounds of meat. But what you do is just go back and cut it up, and you'll be perfectly fine. So it takes a few minutes to go ahead and fry your meat like that. And then what we'll do is after that's fried, we're going to put it in and simmer it and cook it for about an hour and a half. But what I'm going to do here is just toss this. I just want to get some brown on this. And it's perfectly good. You hear the sizzle. Looks good, but we're just going to brown it. And then we'll go from there. So while we're simmering, I'm just going to go, or while we're cutting, I'm just going to go ahead and finish cooking this, and then what we'll do is we'll come back. Welcome back. Okay, we have all our meat nice and seared. I'm going to put it right here. Get it on here. Boy, this pan smells delicious. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to put the wine, the sherry, in and pretty much deglaze the pan. But oh boy, everything smells delicious. Oh, if it was smell vision, you'd be happy campers. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my wine, pour it in the bottom of the pan, nice cold. It's going to take all the bits off the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to scrape them that way. And this way I can let the sherry cook in. I'm also going to put my garlic in there in a minute and just let it do its thing. And between the two, it's going to be wonderful. Then what I'll do is go ahead and add my water and my season pack, and then what I will do is go ahead and drop my meat back in. But I'm going to get all these bits off the bottom. It's starting to come out. Oh my gosh, you could just smell the wine in there. It smells delicious. I'm not a drinker. I really am not. I tried a very expensive glass of wine, did nothing for me. I tried a middle of the road, did nothing for me. Did a cheap, did nothing for me. But I love the way it makes the sauces taste. I probably never would have used wine if I had not eaten chicken marsala. But by me eating the chicken marsala, all of a sudden I was like, whoa, that's a whole different other sauce profile. Okay, I just put my 6 or 5 cloves of garlic into my wine, letting my pan deglaze, let my garlic bloom. Soon as I can smell it, the garlic coming out, oh gosh, I'll go ahead and add the water, the stew packet. I'm also going to add some lemon pepper, so when my meat is boiling, or simmering I should say, it has lots of flavor with the garlic. Oh my gosh, smells delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and open this packet, so when it's time, I have everything in order. And like I said, you don't have to use the season pack, but if you use the season pack, you don't need broth. Broth is very expensive right now unless you get on sale, and that's what you want to do. Go out there and hit up the sales. I did really good for the holidays. I got my broth for like 99 cents. 90 cents was the cheapest I got it for. Okay, so we're ready to put in. You can smell the garlic. Plus all the bits are coming off. Oh my gosh, smells good. I'm going to add my lemon pepper first, as I want my meat to be nice and seasoned. And by that time, a lot of it will cook off, so it won't take away from my good stew flavor. It's just going to add. Smells delicious. Okay, just add your 1 packet of stew mix. And like I said, if you didn't want to do it this way, just add your thyme, your onion powder, garlic powder, some bay leaf, and guess what? You'd be good to go. Okay, so we're just going to keep this on a medium right now. And now I'm going to add up back all this delicious meat and just let it do its thing. Put the meat grease in there and everything. Now, we're just going to put it on. And I'm just going to let this start doing its thing. I'm cooking the meat. I've got the meat in there. Now we're just going to let everything simmer together. Just keep it on your medium. Watch your heat at first so that you're not boiling, because all it'll do is take your liquid away. It's going to have to cook for about an hour and a half total. We're going to come back every half hour just to test the meat tenderness, because if you cut it in smaller bites like I did, my family prefers smaller bites. So what I did is I cut mine smaller, and some meats cook faster, some take longer to cook. So every half hour we'll come back and we'll judge it together, and then that's when we'll move on to our vegetables. So we'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back. 30 minutes into our meat cooking time. I'm excited. It looks fantastic. Look at this pan. Oh, it is looking delicious. Smells delicious. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a piece of meat and give it the taste test. Looks and smells delicious. I'm also going to add a half a cup of water. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to use a whole cup of water. One thing good I like about using the packet of stew mixes is I'm cooking and simmering this meat in pure flavor. At the end, or when we're almost done, about 30 minutes before we're done, we'll add another 3 cups of water in that second stew packet. But right now I want to just see what this looks and tastes like. It's actually not that tough. Really good. It still needs about an hour. So what I'm going to do is put 1 cup in, so I still have stuff, liquids, juices, and good stuff going on in here. And I'm going to continue to cook it. I'm going to put it on for 30 more minutes. The flavor of the sauce is just fantastic. Tastes really good. Meat's just a little bit chewy, so I'm going to go ahead, set for 30 more minutes, and we'll come back and check it then. Welcome back. Okay, it's been another 30 minutes, so that's 1 hour total. We believe that it should take about another half hour. I'm going to try a little bit. I was just scraping the bits off the bottom, which is delicious. One thing good about using the packet mix is I am basically cooking with lots of bits. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go for just a second. I'm going to add another cup of water because I feel that we have so much flavor in there. I could add a cup or 2. Every 15 minutes I get up and I check it, even though I don't show you guys on camera. And then I stir the bits from the bottom, as I want to show you. See, like right here is a little bit, that gets stuck on the bottom of the pan. But I'm acting as we want more flavor today. We want more flavor in this stew. That's why I use the packet to go ahead and just cook the meat in, because I wanted that to get just all incorporated. Like I say, after we're done and we're ready, we'll add our last packet with another 3 cups. That'll actually be the juice. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to try this one. It has a little piece of fat on it as well. Yeah, it needs at least another half hour. It's got a good salt content. But it is still tough. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do another half hour. And then that should make it perfect, because after another half hour, that'll be an hour and a half of boiling the meat, which is good. Then with the vegetables in with the meat cooking for an hour, it'll be perfectly done. So we'll be back again in a half hour. Welcome back. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Technically, we have 1 minute, 9 seconds left. We tried the meat. The meat is fantastic. I want you to see the bits on the bottom here. It looks fantastic. Do you see how all the water is dissipated? And I actually added a whole 2 cups of water throughout the simmering time. Looks fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my veggies. I'm going to take my potatoes and my onions. And I am first of all going to throw my onions right in. And oh my gosh, these are going to cook down. Oops, don't throw it on your cooktop, throw it in. It's going to cook down. I'm going to just mix my onions because now we're going to cook from anywhere to 30 minutes to an hour. So now what I'm going to do is take my potato with my carrots. I'm sorry, yeah, my carrots and my celery, and I'm going to go ahead and drain them, rinse them one more time with water. Okay, there goes my timer. And that was the 1 minute and 9 minutes. So it really did take that long to cook and make my meat nice and tender. Okay, so I've got all my veggies, my potato, my carrot, and my celery. I'm going to give a fine mix, and then I'm going to add my water and my sauce pack. Oh my gosh. Here goes my water. I'm going to mix it up just a little bit more. So I ended up coming out with very little of the first packet liquid. And what I did come out with, it was really nice and thick because I let the flour and the meat just cook and get everything incorporated. So this is how my stew is looking. So I have quite a bit of vegetable in there because my family really likes their vegetables. So after everything is said and done, I probably even have a little bit more vegetable than I do meat, which is fine though, because we cooked everything together. So it has this nice, I'm going to use my towel. My Dutch oven is not that hot. I can touch it, but just always be careful and use your little mitts or pot holders or towels. I'm bad. I use a towel most of the time. So I'm going to let all this wonderful seasoning from the packet mix just incorporate. I know with an hour, it's going to be a nice thick stew. If you like yours thinner, you can have it thinner, but we like ours thicker. And like I said, we like our vegetables. But this is all going to cook down and cook together. So we're going to keep this on anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Basically, because my meat is already done, all I'm waiting for is all my veg to cook and be nice and tender. I don't want it soft and mushy. I want it nice and tender. I want everything to have form. The only thing I want so tender that melts in your mouth is the meat, because I feel meat is disgusting if you have to chew too long and too hard. Okay, so we are off and running. We're going to do a little bit of a medium high simmer to cook, or we're going to go straight on medium high simmer. Yeah, I was going to do a little bit lower, but I need to cook these potatoes and get that onion and carrot and celery flavor. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's get cooking. We got 30 minutes to an hour, and then we shall be done. We'll be back then. Welcome back. Okay, it was 1 hour for veggies to cook and get all nice and soft and beautiful. So we are ready to plate. 1 hour it took. So stew is a little labor intensive, but it's a good day. You know, we had a pretty big storm here this last week, and lots of snow. So it's a beautiful, inviting day to have stew. It's warm, it's rich, it's just absolutely comforting on a day like this. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get it dished up. I want you to see what it looks like. Oh, and it came out really good. Smells delicious. I got my whole little onions in here. Oh my gosh, so good. It really wasn't that expensive of a dish. It cost me $13.81 for the meat. And then for the potatoes, carrots, you know, I have all those things in the house always already, and celery. So, you know, it's a really inexpensive dish to make. It'll feed 4 or 5 people with big fat bowls just like this. And then I went ahead and I did some sourdough with some butter. Good salted butter. I want it to be a hearty dish. I want you to feel warm and full after you eat it. So I just want you to see how beautiful it just really looks. Lots of potato, onion, carrots, celery. I just really want you to enjoy this. I'm going to take a bite over here. I want to try in my pot, and I'm going to show you how the pot looks too. Oh, the pot looks good. I want you to see all the goodness that came from this. Makes quite a bit. And like I said, meat was not too expensive. That's how it looks. Little labor intensive, but well worth it. Normally I make twice as much of this so that I can freeze it. But tonight we decided just to do it as a family meal because it was kind of chilly today. It's a beautiful day. Actually, it's a gorgeous day today. Chilly last week. Lots of snow here where we live last week. But I'm going to go ahead. I let mine cool. I'm going to take a bite. Really delicious. I'm going to take a bite of potato as well. But this is how it turned out. Looks delicious. Want you to see all the carrots, the celery, potatoes, and we got nice sized pearl onions in there. Like I said, I do not like onions, which you guys know. So what I do is I make the pearl onions because my husband loves them. So I'm going to try this. Very good. This is well worth the cook time. If you like the content, if you would please like and subscribe, I would be very grateful. Thanks for coming in and cooking beef stew with me.